A masochist is defined as a person who takes pleasure in physical pain, not because the pain is going to lead to benefits, like the way we like the pain of a good workout because it means we're getting in better shape. No, for masochists, pain is inherently pleasurable, sometimes even sexually pleasurable. The psychology of masochism remains pretty mysterious. Psychologists have proposed various explanations, such as the pleasure a masochist takes in pain is based in satisfying the unconscious desire to self-destruct, or that masochism is essentially an escape from oneself, as self-awareness is replaced by a focus on immediate bodily sensations. What I'd like to focus on in this video, however, is the lesser known term but much more common phenomenon known in psychology as emotional masochism. This is when a person seems to find a sense of pleasure in not physical but emotional suffering. And if not pleasure, then an oddly soothing familiarity akin to the way a toxic environment at home still feels like home. Psychologists define emotional masochism as a pattern of self-defeating behavior in which a person tends to avoid or undermine pleasurable experiences. If a person is emotionally masochistic, they may be drawn to situations or relationships in which they'll likely suffer. They tend to be particularly irritated by cheerful people. They're seemingly incapable of mirroring others' positive emotional states. They shun fun. They fixate on negativities from the past, present, or imagined future. They stick to their stories about how disappointing and unsatisfying life is, and they tend to prevent others from helping them or even reject people who treat them well. There is almost an exhilaration when something goes awry in their life, like a strange high in the lows. All of this can be a feature of depression, but not everyone who is depressed is emotionally masochistic. The difference is this stubborn resistance emotional masochists have toward feeling better. Simply put, emotional masochists like negativity. They would rather be miserable than joyful. And again, it's like someone wanting to be at home, even if it's an unhealthy environment. It still brings the comfort of home. But here's the important point for people who experience this. It's not that you like negativity. It's that something in you likes negativity. There seems to be a very peculiar feature of the human psyche which feeds on negativity. Eckhart Tolle, the contemplative teacher and author of two of the most influential spiritual books of our time, articulates the nature of emotional masochism brilliantly. He calls it the pain body and describes it as the dark shadow cast by the false sense of self, a negative energy field occupying the body and the mind, comprised of the accumulation of pain throughout your life, which seeks, attracts, and feeds on negativity. And it causes your thoughts and feelings about yourself and your life to be deeply negative and self-destructive.
Being able to feel an emotion as it arises and then recognizing it as the beginning of the pain body, my pain body. And as long as you know this is the pain body, you are not identified with it, because the knowing is the awareness. And one thing that then doesn't happen is that the pain body cannot control your thinking, because you're shining the light of consciousness on it. It cannot then creep into your mind and suddenly make your mind think what it wants to think. So remain there as the awareness for it and say, oh, there's the pain body. Then it cannot renew itself, and it also cannot control your behavior, your actions.
Anyone in misery deserves compassion, but typically people in the lives of emotional masochists grow to be quite frustrated by their resistance to happiness and the seeming preference for misery. So again, the important thing is to remember for someone experiencing emotional masochism is that it isn't you who wants to wallow and needs negativity. It's something in you which must be seen for what it is, which, as Eckhart Tolle put it, it's an insubstantial phantom that cannot prevail against the power of your presence. It's a negativity magnet, but it isn't as strong as your deep desire to enjoy a fulfilling life. You can discover, connect, and identify with that part of yourself, an essential, real part of yourself that prefers happiness. Most people who experience emotional masochism have people they love, people they'd be ready to die for, which is beautiful. But the hard question one must ask is, am I ready to live for the people I love?
If you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe.